Hi, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use some of the website stuff that we're going to be using throughout at least the first part of this year. We're going to see how to get into a Google Meet, which will be a little bit different than it was last year. And we'll also look at the website that is attached to the curriculum that we're going to use so that um, you can get a feel for what that's going to look like as well. So first of all, to get into a Google Meet, last year, I know that personally, I just posted the link and people clicked the link and it took them there. This year, we have to do it a little bit differently, and this will be the same for all of your classes. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to meet.google.com. When we get here, there's one thing that you really need to make sure of, and that is if I enter my code or my link, or I think we call it a nickname, right down here at this very moment, it's not going to pull anything up. And that's because I am not logged in using my school account right now. I come up here, I have J, that's for my first name, John. Sometimes it's pronounced danger. And I can go and I switch to my school account. It looks a little bit different. Now, this might not look exactly like what yours looks like because you don't have the option to start a meeting. But when you click on there, we have, hey, we can enter our nickname. The nickname for all of my things, anytime you're going to need to get a hold of me, whether it is a scheduled class time, whether it's Wednesday office hours, if it's another scheduled appointment, however it is, it will always be Swanson Math. And then we can continue. And that will allow us to join the meeting. Now, I actually have to be on this meeting um, before you can join. If I'm not there yet, it will give us an error. But hey, look, I'm here. It's almost like I planned this. So we can join now. And here we go. We're in the meeting. So that's how we log into the Google Meets these days. It's going to be go to meets.google.com and then enter the nickname. That's going to change from teacher to teacher, but the process is going to be the same. All right, this next website that we're going to see is going to be where you can see your textbook, where you can do your homework and quizzes and tests and stuff like that. And it has a bunch of other great tools that we're going to take a look at as well. Statistics, more than any of the other classes, has a lot of options that are um, really quite amazing. Some of them are good for statistics, some of them are just good for college prep and stuff like that. Um, I wish that this would attach itself to the Google Classroom, but it does not. And so, yes, I'm sorry, you will have to go to this other website as well. In the Google Classroom, though, I will definitely have um, I want to call them reminders, but there'll be an assignment to say like do chapter 1 homework, and then you'd go to this website, you do the chapter 1 homework, and then you just go and click the turn in button on Google Classroom. So you can still keep that checklist on Google Classroom. So the website that we're going to is mymathlabforschool.com. I would bookmark it once you get there. And the very first thing is, yes, you will need to register for this. Um, I'll send instructions. It's a fairly easy registration process. You will type in the course name, which I'll send with the instructions. And then you'll create an account with your email address. And then you will enter an access code, which I will give you along with the instructions that is individual per student. So that's fun. I got to type in 102 of those. But once you get registered, you get to sign in. And I'm signing in as a student because the student view looks a lot different than my teacher view. You'll only have one class up here. You'll have AP Statistics. And so we can click on that. And that's going to open up the homepage. Now this homepage starts out with a calendar. Right now it's just set to 2 weeks. You can change that. There's a couple things on the calendar already. Right here we have this little thing. It's an announcement. This is auto-generated by the system. I didn't make it, but down here you can actually see what it is, or you could click on it. Just run a browser check, how to enter answers, things like that. Then we have this orange box here. Oh, that's a quiz. Wait, we have a quiz already? Don't worry about the quiz. If we look down here, it's the orientation. There's actually no statistics. It's just how do you enter stuff? How do you enter stuff for your homework? How do you make graphs? How do you use the system, basically? And we'll see what that is here in just a second as well. The next one, we can go to assignments, where we just get a list of our assignments. We have the study plan. We've talked about that. We'll talk more. And then the orientation quiz. If I click on it, oh wait, we have to do the prerequisite. We have to do the study plan first. Oh man, I assigned it that way. That way you have to do it. Then this is just a really short thing. And that's what this little flag is saying too. Um, so you do the study plan. Um, I don't think I'll assign those all the time because I have them set to be extra credit. Um, and we'll talk about those, but basically the extra credit is just blatant bribery to get you to do them and be successful. So you do that, you get your mastery point, and then you can take the quiz, and then it counts. Here, notice you have an infinite number of times to take this quiz. Most quizzes, you will only have one chance to take it. This is because it's not a real quiz. It's just getting you to figure out how to use the system. So down to the study plan. And the study plan is one of those amazing things that comes with this stuff. So first we have this quiz that we have to take, but we can go to the progress and we can see all the different things. So we have getting ready for statistics. This is online. This won't be in your book at all. The O is the orientation. That's the one that I've assigned to you. But let's just go to chapter 1. Notice in each of our chapters, by the way, there's only one section. That's how this book is broken out. It's not chapter 1 a whole bunch of sections, chapter 2 a whole bunch of sections. Each, like about 5 chapters or so, is going to be a unit. That's when we're going to have our test. So we will not have a chapter 1 test. We will probably have a chapter 1 quiz, and same with the chapter 2. But then we'll have like a unit 1 test after about 5 chapters, I think it is. But let's go to this first one. On here, this one has 3 different objectives. These are the 3 big things talked about in this chapter. On them, you can practice each of them, and you can take a quiz. These quizzes get you extra credit points. And again, as I said, that's just a blatant bribery to get you to be successful, because by doing that, you're showing and proving to yourself and maybe going through a few steps to make sure, but that you actually know how to do that topic. And so that's what the study plan is. The gradebook is a grade book. It's really not that exciting. The one thing I do have to point out, though, is that this is not your official grade. Your official grade will still be in Skyward, so you can see it through Student Access and Family Access. This is just in the system. Now, I think that everything that's going in there, at least at this point, will probably be through this system, so it should be fairly accurate or fairly similar, but that won't always be the case. So just know that this is not your actual grade. This next one, StatCrunch, this is awesome. I've been playing around with this a bit. We have data sets from our textbook. Every data set in our textbook, or at least most of them, are in here. Now in the textbook, it only shows us like a little chunk of it. This gives us all of it, so we can actually use real statistics without having to type it in and type it in and type it in and type it in, because that takes a ton of time. And honestly, most of the time we don't have to type in the data. It's automatically collected for us, or somebody else collects it. And so we'll see this a little bit more when we get to it, but we can use data and then we can make graphs of the data. We can do regression from the data. We can do inference with the data. We can do anything we want with the data, and this is here. So as we're going into those chapters, we'll look at different pieces, and I may assign you a project where you have to pick a data set at random, not from that chapter necessarily, and then do something with it. Um, the e-text is the textbook, and you can open it here and it opens in a new window and it's the full textbook, or you can go down to the chapter contents, and that's going to break it up part by part. And notice here it actually shows the different parts. So chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then that's part 1. So this is when we'll have our test after chapter 5, and we'll have another one after chapter 9. Um, so there's that. We have how do you enter your answers, blah, 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 all the beginning stuff. Some of the stuff in here for statistics is definitely important because we have selected formulas, tables. We use a lot of tables in statistics. But I will be giving you PDF copies of those specifically certain ones because they are the ones that are used and given to you for the AP test. And so becoming familiar with those even at the very beginning of the school year is good. So let's go to chapter 1 though. In chapter 1, it's like, oh, we can do homework, we have take tests and quizzes, study plan. These are review things. The e-text is here again, and then a video presentation. So this is going to be a video lesson that is not the video lesson that I have made for you. It is a separate video lesson. You do not have to watch it, but if you're confused on a topic, this will give you a different presentation, a different take on the same stuff. Maybe it makes more sense than I do. So it's just another resource for you. Back to the main menus. That was chapter contents. The tools for success. These we have, how do you stuff. We have videos. These videos are awesome. The Stat Talk videos are great. Same thing with the concept videos. The step-by-step videos, they correspond to the same feature in the textbooks. Those are kind of like the video examples. Technology tutorials can be useful, but the Stat Talk and the concept videos, I am going to include. I don't know if I'll be able to put them in my lesson itself, or if I'll be able to link them because you have to log in. We're going to try around with that, but there will definitely be times when I send you to these to watch these. They're only a couple minutes long, and they a lot of times take a concept that is either easily confused or easily misunderstood, and it explains it in really quite nice ways. Um, and then there's some applets and stuff like that, graphing calculator manual, study cards, um, more StatCrunch links. So a lot of these will take you to the same links that you can get to other places as well. The Multimedia Library can be very handy if you're looking for things. So we have let's say chapter 1, all sections. There's only one section in each of them, so that doesn't matter. I know a lot of times at this point I click find now because I choose my chapter and my section I find, and it shows me that, oh, we don't have anything. That's because I didn't actually select what I wanted it to look for. So I'm just going to select all so we can see everything available for chapter 1. And chapter 1, there's not much, but honestly, chapter 1 is it's not very big. In fact, it says in the book that like this is generally called an introduction, except that we called it chapter 1 because we wanted you to actually read it. And so there's a textbook, the StatCrunch stuff, PowerPoint, which would go to lesson than the video. Let's select a different. Let's go chapter 7 because this should have more stuff to it. So we have some animations, the PowerPoint, a whole bunch of videos. It breaks it up, and these would be the concept ones, getting you step by step, things like that. And so it gives you a lot of extra stuff to help you understand. The skills for success. This is a really cool. Like I wish that all the other classes had this, but statistics is the only one at least that I teach, that has this. This has nothing to do with statistics itself. This has to do with, as we see, growth mindset, college success, professionalism tools. These are life skills that will help you in every class. They'll help you in college, and they will help you in every aspect of your life, careers, family, whatever. So the mindset, we have a couple different things. There's little videos on um, different things: the growth mindset, power of making mistakes, power of yet, embracing challenges. And so those can be good. The college success modules, transition to college. A lot of you will probably be going to college next year or the year after. Online learning. Why would we ever want to learn anything about online learning? Oh, wait a second, here we are. Um, and so you can learn just some things to be successful in online learning. Um, reading to learn. Reading to learn is different than reading a novel. And in fact, a lot of times you are going to, or actually not a lot of times, you are going to be reading the textbook. This textbook is meant to be read. It's like I would never assign a pre-calculus textbook as a reading assignment. That would not be successful. But this is written to be read. And there are all sorts of little details and stuff that you just have to read it. Stress management. How can you deal with that? I know a lot of high level students, which are the same students that take AP classes, tend to be very stressed. So, how can you help with that? Time management. Time management is um, even more important in the distance learning because you don't have the teachers there telling you to work. You don't have, like, okay, now I have to move to my next class. Now I have to move to my next class. You have to make these decisions on your own. Now, do you have to be awake and at school at 7:40 in the morning? No, you could sleep in until your first class and then do your work in the afternoon. That really doesn't matter. That might be better for you depending on what other things you have to do. But this is another one of those great skills for success. And then financial literacy, just helping with finances and stuff. Again, great life tool. These are awesome. Um, and then professionalism tools. um, Case studies, job search documents, like how do you look for jobs, sample interview questions. I mean, can you see how these could possibly be helpful in your near future? I would take advantage of these things. Like, I'm not assigning these as any kind of assignment or anything, uh, but I would strongly recommend taking a look at those in some of your free time, or if you need a break from things that you really, really need to pay attention to because there's going to be a test. That would be a good thing for that. I clicked out, I clicked back too far. Now we have to wait for it to load again because apparently my internet decided it was going to stop. Hmm. Well, that took us down to basically the bottom. The couple things below it, um, we're not really using. They have like things where you can email or upload files, or um, you can have a discussion board, things like that. That we'll do that through Google Classroom. There is an option that was a purchase option. You don't need to worry about that. We've got this for you. So you actually, it the purchase option is you could purchase a textbook. We have a textbook. You can check it out of the library if you want a textbook. You don't need to, but you could. Um, and so those other things at the bottom were things that we didn't actually need to talk about anyway, which is good because it's not going to load for us. So with that, uh, I can't wait to see you guys in class. But until then, keep working problems, keep asking questions, and as always, happy mathing.